Good. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. First thing I'd like to note is where our fire exits are, just to my left here, and the door through which we all came today. Next, could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, before we get started, I think there was a motion before us.
Roll call.
Roll call. Oh, yeah, roll call. Thank you.
Member Erdl? Here. Member Sprata?
Present.
Member Hoffman?
Here.
Member Yarborough?
Here.
And Chairman Delaney.
Here. Okay. Like I was saying, I think that, Paul, you want to...
Make a motion that we be in compliance with the, what do we call it, the Zoom?
Yeah, at her discretion, we will move to...
It would be our discretion to,
In compliance with the new open meetings law
thank
and
you.
allow virtual meetings if necessary.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion by
Okay.
Paul, seconded by Jan.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next, can we have the legal notice for our first variance, please?
Please take notice that the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Depew will hold a public hearing on November 18th, 2021 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the Municipal Building, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, to consider the application of Gerald Fernandez for property located at 116 Meridian Street of Chapter 260, subset 26023B2, to permit him to construct a garage within the minimum required 5-foot setback from the property line, requesting a relief of 2 feet. A pre-board meeting will begin at 6:30 p.m. in the OEM office conference room of the Municipal Building, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York. All social distancing and mask requirements will be followed. Any and all persons interested in such application will be heard at this time.
Hello there again, I'm Sherry, representing my father, Gerald Fernandez, who's right there. We are here to request a variance for a garage. That would be a detached garage. Currently, the variance is 5 foot, and we'd like to go to 3 feet.
Do we have any questions from the board? No questions?
The size of the new garage will be approximately the same as the old existing garage right now?
It's going to be 26 by 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be a double garage
Yes, it would be a double garage.
with 2 single doors or 1 double door?
Yeah, it was suggested we're going to go to a single door.
A single door, yeah. Okay. And that shed that's next to the garage will be taken down? as
Yes, it'll
part
be
of
demolished.
Construction, destruction process?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Member Hoffman.
I have a question and a comment. So let's start with the comment. Thank you for going with the single garage door. Thinking about your last comments when you were last here and trying to get maneuver in and out of the garage.
Right.
Having a single garage door will definitely help you in that process. I do have one question. For drainage, thinking about, the conversations we had and the hydraulic pressure that caused your garage floor to crack before, will there be gutters placed on the front and rear of the garage?
Oh, most definitely. There is now.
Okay.
Yeah. The problem is with the neighbor behind us that doesn't have gutters.
I think we were we had conversation around that. So I
Yeah.
think we're
So-
in a good place there.
Yeah, Tony did give me the information of how I could go about addressing that.
Okay, thank you for being back.
No problem.
Anything from code?
Yeah, as far as the roof drainage, today's code does require gutters
Thank you.
and downspouts. I will need an amended drawing from the contractor, specifying the structural framing for the single door as opposed to the two individual doors.
Okay.
And again, with the hydraulic pressures and stuff, obviously the code of the day of the existing or the previous garage, there really was no code. Current codes will handle all of that. And that's it.
Anything from legal?
There's nothing from legal on this one.
Okey-doke. All right, so next what I'll do is read the 6 criteria that you filled out in your paperwork as a requirement for an area variance in New York State. Number 1, will an undesirable change be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties be created by granting of the area variance? You wrote no, it will be the same, and I will agree. Number 2, can the benefits sought by you, the applicant, be achieved by some other method other than an area variance? You wrote no, and that's true. 3, is the requested area variance substantial? You wrote yes because of vehicles getting in and out of the garage. That may be true, but I would say that a 2-foot variance, I don't think is substantial here. Will the proposed area variance have an adverse effect or impact the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district? You wrote no, and I would agree with that. 5, is the alleged difficulty self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the Zoning Board of Appeals, but not necessarily preclude the granting of the requested area variance? You wrote yes, and that's true. 6, what is the minimum area variance deemed necessary and adequate? You wrote requesting 2-foot relief, 3-foot setback per original variance requested, and that is true. Okay. So with that, would one of my fellow board members like to put forth a motion to grant or deny this variance as presented?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the variance.
Motion to grant from Paul. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Dan seconds the motion. Roll call vote, please.
Member Sprata?
Yes.
Member Erdl?
Yes.
Member Hoffman?
Yes.
Member Yarborough?
Yes.
And Chairman Delaney.
Yes.
5 yes, variance is granted.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming back.
Okay.
Hey. We are ready.
Please take notice that the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Depew will hold a public hearing on November 18th, 2021 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the Municipal Building, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, to consider the application of Todd Herkey for property located at 43 Pamela Drive of Chapter 260, Subset 260, 14B4B2, to permit him to erect a fence within the required 18 minimum setback when the rear lot line abuts a side lot line of the neighboring lot for yards on corner lots. A pre-board meeting will begin at 6:30 p.m. in the OEM office conference room of the Municipal Building, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York. All social distancing and mask requirements will be followed, and any and all persons interested in such application will be heard at this time.
Like to step forward, please. State your name and tell us what you'd like to do, please.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Herkey, Todd Herkey's wife. And this is my uncle Richard Nader. He came with me as well. We actually added on to our fence. We were actually replacing our old fence pieces. We had 2 extra pieces, so we figured we would just add the 2 pieces on. Before we actually got a permit, we didn't know. And that's what we did.
What? Any questions from the board? I have a question and a request. Question, have you talked to your neighbors about the fence, and do they support your fence?
Yes, I did talk to my neighbors. Hold on. Can I walk up?
Chairman.
Okay. There is 5 copies I made. I went around the neighborhood and I wrote something and they all signed, so I have 5 of them for you guys to look at.
Thank you so much. That really is helpful.
Thank you.
And I have a request. You made multiple changes to the property. There's no longer a pool there. There's an additional shed on the property. What I would ideally like to see is an updated survey for the village, for the property. I think that survey dates back to August of 1996. So I think it would be the interest of yourself as well as the village to have an updated survey.
Okay.
Paul, do you have any thoughts?
No, I was going to bring up the survey also, updated.
Any questions? Okay. Anything from code?
Yeah, obviously, code enforcement supports the submittal of an updated survey. The matter is, obviously, anytime you change the footprint of structures on your property, you should update just for verification and accuracy. So, again, it's a matter of permits are required just to make sure we're not creating fire hazards, safety hazards, or anything like that. So, that's it.
Okay. Anything from legal?
So you guys got this violation notice. Was that after the fence went up? What happened? Was it a contractor? Was it you guys put it up yourself?
No, my husband did it himself. Our old fence was getting rotted and old, so he wanted to replace it. We had the 2 extra pieces, like I stated, so then he figured he would just add on 2 extra pieces to make it look a little nicer. And we wanted a more secure backyard for our family. We have 2 young or teenage daughters at my house. I have my daughter plus an adopted daughter. We had thefts and stuff in the area. We had a high-speed chase.
I do. I've got a file on that.
So, I mean, I just feel it's safer for them, so if they come to the house, they can stay in the backyard. The whole side property we weren't using, so
Right.
therefore, he's like, oh, yeah. He's a CO, he's not always home, so it's just me and the girls, so.
Okay. I get it. I just, I think that was a question the board had that didn't get asked, so I just wanted to make sure we asked. That's all from me. I don't see any legal issues with this application.
All right, so with that, I would like to read from your application that you filled out, the 6 criteria that are required for an area variance in New York State.
They're out early enough.
Number 1, will an undesirable change be produced in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties be created by granting of the area variance? And with your petition that you so helpfully came up with here, you said no, and I would agree with that. Number 2, can the benefit sought by you, the applicant, be achieved by some other method other than area variance? You wrote no, and I would agree. 3, is the requested area variance substantial? You wrote no. What is the exact amount? I'm not sure.
The relief is actually going to be, you've got 3 8-foot panels going towards the road that comes out to the 24 feet. Required setback is 18 feet. The existing building is 29, so that's a 3-foot encroachment on the required 18-foot setback.
Can I state something then?
Oh,
We're
please.
18 feet you stated, right? We have to be
From-
18 feet? And we are actually 23 and a half, and I have a copy here if you'd like to see this that we drew up.
Is that from the road
From,
or from the
Where's-
right-of-way line? Okay.
so at the edge of the curb
Yeah.
and the fence.
The curb is
Fence
not,
right there.
the curb is not your right-of-way line. The dimension from the foundation going towards the road, that's what you have to go off of.
I'm looking to see.
You're 29 feet from the right-of-way line. according to your survey.
Okay.
This dimension here, this is not the curb. The curb is way out here,
Okay.
okay? Your sidewalk is somewhere in this vicinity, okay? So from this line, you're supposed to be at 18 feet, all right? You've got 3 panels going forward at 8 feet, that's 24 projection. So basically, the 29 minus the 18 gives you 11 feet.
So you got to put it right curb to the.
Yeah, the location of the sidewalk is irrelevant to this line, okay? And it's the same thing going this way.
Yeah, I understand that. Right away is not necessarily a curb. The right of way could be from here to back. So you got to be.
So with that, I will agree with you and say no, it is not substantial. Number 4, will the proposed area variance have an adverse effect or impact the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district? You wrote no, and I would agree. Number 5, is the alleged difficulty self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the zoning board of appeals, but not necessarily preclude the granting of the requested area variance? You wrote yes, to create a larger secure area for my family, and that is true. 6, what is the minimum area variance deemed necessary and adequate? You wrote asking for an extra 10 feet from the edge of sidewalk. As we discussed, it's a 3-foot encroachment, though. Okay. So, we have a board member that would like to put forth a motion to grant or deny this variance as presented.
Chairman Delaney, I would like to put forth a motion, but I'd like to ask a clarifying question. Do you understand what code just presented to you as far as your setback from your house, that 29 feet? Do you understand where that starts and ends? Because it,
This is Sylvia, this is Pamela. This dimension here is 29.35 feet. So from the corner of the house out, that's the setback line, okay? The street is within the right-of-way here. The right-of-way is 60 feet wide.
Off the,
Okay.
30 feet the other way.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, the pavement itself is only 30 feet wide, so from center line, 15 and 15, where that sidewalk ended up, normally it doesn't show on a survey unless that sidewalk is actually on the property. Okay, the sidewalk is within the right-of-way.
Corner of the house, you got 29 or 25.
Right. And on this corner, it's 29.53, and this corner is 29.35. Which you should have a copy of your survey anyways. Right. Okay.
as you were. So you understand you're measuring off the corner of the house, 29.35 feet.
Right.
Okay. With that said, I would motion to grant.
Okay, do we have a second?
A second.
All right. Motion made by member Hoffman, seconded by member Ertl. And a roll call vote, please.
Member Sprata?
Yes.
Member Ertl?
Yes.
Member Hoffman?
Yes.
Member Yarborough?
Yes.
And Chairman Delaney.
Yes.
5 yes, variance approved.
You got to give them a big survey.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion to close the hearing.
A motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Who's your second, is it Janet?
Jim was the second.
Okay, 'cause Paul said it too, so, just, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I heard backwards. I guess my left ear's better than my right. All right, hearing closed.
We still live?
Yes.
No extraneous comments.
Guess that's it.